And now being armed with this knowledge, we have a responsibility as the king's priest. We must stand in the gap. We must bring the people to God before we can bring God to the people. Intercession is not optional for the citizen of the kingdom. It is the main function in the office of a priest. A priest must intercede, or he is no priest at all. God is calling for end-time intercessors, priests who live holy, sanctified, have repented of their sins, and have the sins of the people in view. People who are ready, willing, and qualified to stand in the gap. Priestly intercessors are people who take responsibility. They take responsibility for the sins of the people, even if they themselves are not directly at fault. Nehemiah was born outside of Jerusalem. He had never visited Jerusalem, but yet he prays this prayer to God. Let thine ear now be attentive and thine eyes open, that thou mayest hear the prayer of thy servant, which I pray before thee now, day and night for the children of Israel, thy servants, and confess the sins of the children of Israel, which we have sinned. He wasn't there. He didn't take part in any great sin. But he says, we have sinned against thee. Both I and my father's house have sinned. We have dealt very corruptly against thee and have not kept the commandments, nor the statutes, nor the judgments, which thou commandest thy servant Moses. This is the attitude that we have to take. It doesn't matter if you're directly responsible. It doesn't matter if your church is fine. We are dealing with the kingdom. And because we are so churchified and we've been brought up sometimes in the churchdom and not the kingdom, we say, okay, well, my little corner of the vineyard's fine and everybody else is dying. This is why we can't get revival, because we only care about our church and the young people in our church and the young people in our family. That's not what intercessors are like. Intercessors care about things that are not even directly affecting them. Nehemiah was a cupbearer in Persia, and the wall wasn't built. That wasn't directly affecting him, but he picked up that word of God, and he must have got an understanding of what Israel should be. And it convicted him to the point where he repented on the behalf of himself, his father's house, and the whole of Israel. He could have been a cupbearer and been fine for the rest of his life. It was a very privileged position. But intercessors take responsibility.